Hey guys, it's your main man Mike from EAKCrewProductions, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile. I realize I haven't done one in a little bit, so I thought I'd do one right now. Alright, so I've been going over GBs with myself back and forth, thinking that, they're still pretty relevant. They always come back at the beginning of format, so I decided to make my own little build, and this is pretty much what I came up with. One Bestiary, three Darius, three Equist, one Hoplimus, three Laquari, one Rediari. I think banishing cards is just pretty great. Like, this card doesn't have to be in here. And two Samnite. I feel like they are kind of mandatory though, just so you have more beast monsters for your Horn of the Phantom Beast. Horn, of course, works on Beast and Beast Warrior. Plus, this card, if you actually get it out and through the special summon, it's just nuts. We'll talk about it in a second. And then this one, I think removal is good, but you could sub him out from Murmillo. It's really up to you. But this guy, he's just so good because, oh man. Alright, let's go over the deck for it. Alright, Dark Hole, two Tenkies, they search for the Beast Warriors, three Forbidden Lands, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, two MSTs, two Dualities, two Bottomless Trap Hole, two Dimensional Prison, two Fiendish Chain, three Gladiator Beast War Chariot, two Horn of the Phantom Beast, one Mirror Force, one Safe Zone, and two Starlight Road. Alright, so first off, one Bestiary because it's at one, three Darius because you're able to bring back your dead GBs with him, which is really great because sometimes you just need them back. And because of him bringing them back, he allows you to go into easy 4 rank exceeds. A quest because it allows you to put back like dead Laquaris into your hand and also get back Gladiator Beast War Chariot, which recycling that is just ridiculous. One Hoplimus because I'm not really too defensive of a player. I mean, I can be conservative and sit back too, but unless you draw Hoplimus, I feel like he's bad. Like, if you, like, I never want to attack and tag out into a Hoplimus. I've just, like, never, ever wanted to do that. Three Laquari. I might even take Hoplimus out and put him in Murmillo now that I think about it. Three Laquari. Just because Laquari is super strong, big beater, becomes 2,100, is what lets you make Heraclinos and is searchable by Fire Formation Tenki. So one Rediari because I think being able to banish cards from your opponent's graveyard is really good. You can dwindle down their Monster Reborn targets, and just get rid of like monsters if you're playing against water. You can be like, oh, they have 5 targets. Let me make sure that they don't draw the Moonglacia and special summon it on me. But at the same time, you might want to leave it in, because if they already have 5, then they're probably going to end up going over. But other things too, like, oh, you have 3 Darks in the grave, let me get rid of that in case you ever get a Dark Arm. Alright, and Frogs, of course. Gladiator Beast Samnite. He's pretty strong. Not super strong, 1,600. It's pretty good. Since he is a beast, you can attach Horn of the Phantom Beast onto him, make him really strong. But the whole thing with him is that he becomes a searcher. So if I go like Darius into him, he's going to be 1,600. But then at that point, if he kills a monster and sends it to the graveyard, I believe he has to just send it to the graveyard, yes, and sends it to the graveyard, then that means I can search Chariot. And that's pretty fantastic. And if that just so happens that I also have Horn of the Phantom Beast, I'm also drawing a card. And I believe it's into the graveyard you can, so that's optional. And when that target destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, this is mandatory. So you even get to search for the Chariot before you draw, which means you have a less of chance of drawing the Chariot that you wanted to search. So, awesome. Alright, Dark Hole, obvious. Fire Formation Tenki, so good, makes this deck a lot better. Even though you could be running Proving Grounds, this is better than Proving Ground, even though it is MSTable, for the simple fact that it ups all these guys by 100, so Laquari is a 1,900 instead. Darius is 18, like, that's a really big difference. Like that's notable, you know. And then it also becomes the proving ground. 3 Forbidden Lands. I love this card. If I can run it at 3, I love running it at 3. Awesome in GBs, obviously, because it lets you tag out and do whatever you need to do. Heavy Storm. Even in this deck, I would run Heavy Storm where I'm laying down big back rows. Because if you draw it first turn, or if you draw it when you're like low, it can just create that safe play. Even if you destroy a bunch of your spells and traps, but it creates a safe play where you get the attack for game. Like, come on. Monster Reborn, Trinity, obviously. 2 MST. Just even with 3 Lance, because like them being aggro, like with this deck you have to be very aggro, so I want to make sure my attacks get through. And even though Lance is good with getting my summons through, you can't really attack after you Lance unless they have no monsters on the field, you know, because pretty much anything's going to kill your monsters once you Lance them. 2 Pot of Duality to help with consistency, you know, Pot of Duality into something, you know, pretty great. Helps you get those chariots faster. You really only need to draw 1 to 2 chariots because you can just cycle them. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. This is a very trap-heavy deck, as you can see. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole because I hate summons and warnings at 1 now, and you'll see that I'm not even running warning. You could change that out. Maybe take out the Safe Zone. Maybe take out one of the Starlights. I think Starlight at 2 is really good in this deck. But of course, if you open up 2 Starlights, it's like, oh my god. 2-Dimensional Prisons. You know, make sure your monsters don't get killed. And I like D-Prison because when you stop running D-Prison, you start realizing how annoying Stardust is. Even though, of course, I have the Forbidden Lands. 2 Fiendish Chain, because Fiendish Chain is so broke. 2 chains! I wouldn't run 3. I think that's a little, 2 chains is very good, though. Stops the tour guide, you know, stops a whole bunch of stuff. Helps you, okay, you're not going to destroy me this round. Cool. I can draw that Lance, attack over your monster, tag out, do some nutty stuff. 3 War Chariots because monster effects are so nutty, and this is a format, and you want to draw it, you just negate everything. 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast, power ups, constant, and it gets you that +1. Mirror Force because people will run into it. Safe Zone keeps your GB safe so that you are guaranteed that tag out. Or you're guaranteed to just keep it on the field so that like, maybe you can go into your Bestiary set so that you can come out and do a Geyserus. And then 2 Starlight Road, just because there's so much destruction and this deck is heavy on the laying. And once you get a Chariot out and you're able to recycle it, if you have Starlight down 2, then that's always a constant of 2 cards at least face down. Alright, onto the side deck. 3 Gemini Imps, which, you know, on retrospect, can definitely be lowered. You could probably even take it out for the simple fact that if you have Chariots and then the side deck Dimensional Fissures in the deck, I mean, that's really all you need. I would say only put these 3 in. This is probably not the greatest side deck. You could find much better space for something else. 2 Thunder Kings for like the machine matches and the Searcher matches. 3 Fiendish Chain, you know, Water, Fire Kings. Anything that really needs to go to the grave, plants, junk, synchro, stuff like that. Level limit area B, obviously this affects you too because your guys are all big dudes. Like I usually play this against my friends, but you can just go into the exceeds that we have down here to get out of it, and it really stops like a giant plethora of other decks. So it's okay. Mystical Space Typhoon. Just extra destruction power if you run into a really trap-heavy deck. 2 Debunk for wind-ups, even though wind-ups are pretty much dead. For Battle Faders, for Crows, for Gores, for so many different cards you can stop with this guy. And for the Atlanteans as well. You can side in these 3 and these 2 for Atlanteans. And then Overworked, it is for the Fire Fist matchup, because as long as they have a Tenki or a Tensu on the field, they're all getting stronger, so Overworked pretty much works as extra Dark Holes. Alright, so 1 as a Diary. It's a good card because it allows you to get over 2,400 monsters, but it's not as needed as it was when the card first came out. 2 Bestiari. Or, I'm sorry, 2 Geyserus. Great card. Kind of hurts if they Starlight Road you, though. One Heraclinos can really shut down and give you the game. Two Stardust because of the roads. One Dweller for water. One Tiger King because you can go into it. And it helps you search that tanky, which then gets you another search. One Gaga because he wins so many games. I don't know. I've probably done 20 plus games where I've won with Gaga Cowboy. Levier because you do have 3-3-stars, and if B-Star already gets banished, then you want to be able to bring it back. Maystroke the Jin, which is a great card. Utopia, Korn, get rid of other people's stuff. It really gets rid of like Spirit Reaper. So does this, but this guy is also used for Zen mains because it sends and doesn't destroy. So really phenomenal. And then of course Zen mains, the card that guy gets rid of, because it allows you to stall. You don't really need to stall that much in GBs, but maybe you had to overuse your resources and now you want to stall. But anyways, that's your main man Mike from EAK Crew Productions. That is a deck profile for GBs, and I'll see you guys later. Peace, subscribe.